Hi, everybody. My name is Jessie. I'm with the Campbell County Senior Center, and I am a personal trainer, but I am a martial artist by trade. So today I'm talking about Tai Chi for balance and fall prevention. So, what makes me so knowledgeable about this? I am a Tai Chi for health instructor. I teach TCA, which is Tai Chi for arthritis. For fall prevention, I do teach seated Tai Chi and standing. I teach for diabetes, memory, rehab, life, and Qigong. I've been teaching for over 8 years. But I've been practicing much longer. And the nice thing is with the Tai Chi for Health instructors, we're required to get certified every 2 years. So we go to national conferences, we have monthly meetings. I have once a week meetings with my master instructor. So I'm always learning and getting new information how to help people. Like I said, I am a lifetime martial artist. I do hold a second degree black belt in Taekwondo. I teach kickboxing for fun. And I do have a background in recreation and fitness with sports medicine through North Kentucky University. So my big thing is, I always preach this, is the doctor of the future will prescribe no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of human frame. So in other words, exercise, exercise, exercise. So what is Tai Chi? Tai Chi is a martial arts that embraces the mind, body, and spirit. It is a moving meditation due to the fact that the movements are fluid, graceful, circular, and slow. And it also focuses on the breathing, which helps relax the body. It began in ancient China, and Tai Chi has been deemed one of the most effective exercises for health of the mind and body. And that's what we're going to discuss today. People traditionally believe that Tai Chi must be practiced full time for 10 or more years before an individual could teach. But the Tai Chi for health applies the medical and educational knowledge. So anyone can get certified to teach after some practice and some general knowledge and some testing to start teaching the Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention. And I truly recommend learning how to do that. So the big secret to Tai Chi is the principles. No matter what form or style of Tai Chi you do, the principles are always the same. It's controlling the movement, good body structure, your internal state of mind, breathing, weight transfer, situation awareness. Principles stay true regardless of the time. Tai Chi principles are the core value derived from the collective wisdom of many Tai Chi experts. So as I'm teaching, I am reminding my students of these principles as they're moving constantly. So what are the principles of Tai Chi? The first one is movement control. So you're going to move slow and fluidly and gentle resistance. So I always remind people, hey, let's be a ballerina. Let's dance across that stage. So they can kind of get that picture of moving nice and slow. Body structure, even sitting in the chair, I remind my students, sit nice and tall, engage those core muscles. Try to have your back off the back of the chair. Don't lean back, and then stand. If we're standing, I'm like, good abdominal muscle, stand nice and tall, think tall thoughts. And then always make them aware of weight transfer. And this is where that balance comes in that fall prevention. Because when we're shifting our weight to one side or the other, I will remind them, hey, transfer your weight to the left. Now step with your right. Now transfer your weight to the right foot before you pick up that left foot. And just gentle reminders like that really helps. And then internal components is the relaxation, quieting the mind. So there's many styles of Tai Chi. There's Chen style, Yang, Ho, Wu, and Sun. I specialize in Sun and Yang. And Sun style has been deemed most effective for balance and fall prevention. So what is Yang style? Its movement is speed. The movements are nice and slow and flowing, and it emphasizes that relaxation and balance. Our aging population, Yang and Sun style, are they're going to be their best friends because of this. It focuses on being stable, controlling your weight 50-50 on both legs. And then as you shift your weight, being mindful of that weight transfer. In the Sun style, yes, there's a little bit faster motions to it, but again, we're controlling our body, we're keeping that 50-50, we're mindful of the weight transfer. And I always remind people to make sure that your Tai Chi is your practice. So if a movement is too fast, slow it down. Stay in your comfort zone, go your pace. And again, one of the best things about Sun style, because of the motions, it is good for arthritis and improves joint health. Both styles are very unique. And again, people choose the style of Tai Chi they want to practice due to their personal preference, what is available in their location, and of course, health goals. So how can Tai Chi help people? It can help everyone. I don't care what age you are, but it can help everyone. So the big thing is it can boost your immune system. It slows the aging process down. It reduces anxiety, depression, just changes your mood. After I practice Tai Chi, it's amazing how much happier I am. It can lower your blood pressure. It reduces your stress response. Again, because you're exercising and everything, there's those natural healing powers that are occurring, helping you recovering from an injury faster. It helps with your breathing capability, improves balance and coordination, helps with full range of motion. So per the CDC website on May 9th of this year, it says in the United States, over 14 million or 1 in 4 adults ages 65 or older reported falling each year. While not all falls result in an injury, about 37% of those who fell reported an injury that required medical treatment or restriction in their activities for at least one day, resulting in an estimate 9 million fall injuries. That number blows my mind. Due to the high fall rate, treatment for these injuries is one of the most expensive health costs we see in the United States. So here is a chart just kind of showing over the past years and month the fall rates. So you can see every year we're getting higher with those fall rates. Granted, our older population, we're getting more population that is getting that older age. So it's been shown that Tai Chi may reduce falls and the fear of falling in older adults. In 2012, a study determined that Tai Chi significantly reduced the risk of falls. In 2014, a review was done stating that Tai Chi may reduce the fear of falling among older people. In 2012, during a clinical trial of 195 people that practiced Tai Chi, showed improvement in balance and stability better than resistance training stretching with people who had mild to moderate Parkinson's disease. In 2014, a follow-up clinical study shows that these people who practiced Tai Chi were more likely to continue exercising during the 3 months following the 2012 study than those participating in a resistance or stretching training program. And I say why they continue a lot is the social aspect of the classroom, because you're in a class with other people who have the same issues or problems as you. According to an article that was published in October 2006, issued of injury prevention in the year 2000, 2.6 million medical treatment non-fatal falls. Oops, sorry. Where was I? Sorry. Falls were nearly, medical costs totaling $2 billion for fatal falls and $19 billion for non-fatal falls in the United States. This financial toll from falls are expected to increase as our population ages, reaching $54.9 billion by 2020. Tai Chi has been shown, and there's many studies on it, to reduce the falls in the elderly around 60%, which would mean a savings of $10 billion in 2000 if we can get more people to practice Tai Chi. Older people are more likely to fall, resulting in the serious injury. A fracture can be a very serious problem for an additional to a loss of quality of life. A person older than 70 with a hip fracture has a greater than 50% chance of dying within 1 year. People with Parkinson's and other diseases or conditions that affect balance are also more susceptible to falling. Many measures can help to reduce the risks that lead to falls. Studies have shown that Tai Chi is one of the most effective of these measures. In fact, recent studies using TCA program revealed a reduction in fall risk for fall-prone older adults, especially standing balance improvement in people with chronic stroke and the prevention of falling in a relatively healthy older adult. Fall prevention benefits. Tai Chi helps older people to improve their balance, muscle strength, and confidence. Because of these improvements, older people are less likely to fall and injure themselves. In 2007, the largest fall prevention study in the world was done with 702 participants. They did weekly community-based Tai Chi classes and noted the reduction in the number of falls as well as fall risks. The full study, you can look it up. It's at the Journal of American Geriatric Society. But the results of these from the study, it's the control trial of Tai Chi for fall prevention, was published in August of 2007. It said the vast majority of the participants used the Tai Chi for Arthritis program. The study found that Tai Chi prevention falls by a massive 67 less falls. It became one of the 3 studies recognized and listed with the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention. The impact of this study reached many national governments and health professionals around the world, and the ripples are still spreading. So the CDC recommends Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention to help with the balance and fall issues that we're facing now in America. More and more studies are showing the effectiveness of Tai Chi and is improving the aspects of health, as well as how much we could save in terms of health costs. If we looked at one example of the health benefits of Tai Chi, the prevention of falling, that contributes to alone to save the United States $10 billion. In the Australian economy, more than 400 million every year. If we were to add this up, all the health benefits from practicing Tai Chi would help cost savings would be crazy. And it's fairly cheap to teach Tai Chi in a community. Exercise regimens such as Tai Chi are providing useful as prevention and therapy for osteoporosis and associated injury. Tai Chi focuses on posture, low velocity movements of the body, helps reduce loading of the joints on the lower limb, particularly both the knees and the ankle, which are often sites of tissue and cartilage degeneration. The gentle and slow body movements practiced in this form of exercise also helps to relax muscles, strengthen bones, train endurance, improve balance, flexibility, and coordination. This less likely to fall. Weight-bearing exercises such as Tai Chi can also increase our muscle strength, improve our balance, posture, stability, and body flexibility. So the weight transfer in Tai Chi is training the weight transfer to improve the balance and have been proven to reduce the risk of falls. Again, as I'm teaching Tai Chi to my students, I'm reminding them to transfer their weight to one side, lift the foot up onto the other side, put it down, then transfer your weight before you step again. So I'm constantly reminding them about that weight transfer. And eventually, after 8-12 weeks of reminding them, how to transfer that weight, they're now becoming more aware on their own without listening to me about the weight transfer. So that's helping them, just walking in day life, not, keeping their body nice and straight as they're walking. They're not fearful anymore because they're becoming more aware if they didn't transfer their weight correctly, that's when they're going to fall or be imbalanced. So Tai Chi walking, that is something that we practice daily in my classes, and most Tai Chi classes practice Tai Chi walking. So I'm just going to go over how we Tai Chi walk, so you can kind of understand how slow the process is. So obviously we can teach this sitting or standing, but if we're standing, we're going to remind them have their feet shoulder width apart, not very wide, not very narrow. We're going to remind them to keep their knees slightly bent. We never lock a joint in Tai Chi. We're always loosey-goosey. We're going to sink our weight down. So if we're going to step with our right, we're going to sink down, shift our weight to the left leg. And they should feel that weight transfer before we even lift that right foot up. When we step heel to toe with our foot. And our heel should be in line with the toes of our left foot with that shoulder width apart. So that's the other big thing with the Tai Chi for walking. A lot of people, we take huge steps. And this really takes your steps and make them so much smaller. And that makes them more aware of that weight transfer and maintaining that balance, keeping your weight in the middle. So as I tell them to step down, heel to toe, then I'm going to tell them to shift their weight to that right leg. Then they can lift up their left foot. Again, place it down, left heel, then come up to your toes. And then we'll practice walking across the room several times. And at the end of the day, after our Tai Chi class, I always remind them, that's your homework, is to practice walking. And, and it's amazing how many times my students come back and say how they see so much improvement in their walking. A lot of, especially my older people with knee issues, I call it the wobble. They kind of go like this as they're walking, and now they're not wobbling anymore. They're more straight up and down, and they're feeling that weight transfer. I had several people improve so much that their doctor actually recommend for them not to use the cane anymore because their walking has improved and they're more steady on their feet. So prescribing Tai Chi, it's easy. I always remind people 10 minutes a day, that's all you have to do. You can give up 10 minutes to practice Tai Chi. And, it could be as simple as just practicing the walking. I do warm-ups with my students, and the warm-ups are always the same every class. Every once in a while I might throw something in there fun, but they know those warm-ups. They may not remember anything else they learn in our Tai Chi class, but they'll remember those warm-ups. And I said, run through those warm-ups from beginning to end of those warm-ups. That's 10 minutes. And again, with regular practice, you're going to start seeing those benefits that you're getting through the Tai Chi. People will start feeling calmer, um, more healthier. Their flexibility will improve. They'll feel stronger, of course, more balance in the coordination. And a lot of the calming aspects come from the Qigong and the breathing practices of Tai Chi. Because just like in yoga, where they remind you to breathe, we do that in Tai Chi. We remind people, hey, take that nice deep breath in through your nose and then breathe it out. You want to feel that breath all the way to your belly and then let it go. So what, as a Tai Chi instructor, always ask health care professionals to encourage people to look after their health and improve their lifestyle, but encourage them to, hey, why don't you try Tai Chi? A lot of people don't like doing yoga. It scares them because they see yoga on the floor. Nice thing is with Tai Chi, we don't lay on the floor. We're always standing or sitting in a chair. So a lot of people are more susceptible to do that Tai Chi because they don't worry about, okay, if I lay on the floor, how am I going to get back up? And then again, being in a class with other students taking Tai Chi, you're going to have that camaraderie. You're going to start socializing and everything, which helps people. So by having them take Tai Chi classes, your patients are going to be encouraged to take responsibility for their health, and they're going to start enjoying coming to classes. It's going to be more of a fun activity and not a chore that they have to do. So like I said, I teach 9 Tai Chi classes a week. I am very busy. During COVID, I started teaching Tai Chi virtually and breaking it down to help people just kind of move more during COVID and not sit on the couch. I mean, but that's the nice thing with Tai Chi. You can sit on that couch and move and not worry about uh, anything else. Do you guys have any questions about Tai Chi?
All right. I noticed it. Can you hear me okay, Jessica?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Something in the bio, and I did look this up. It's where you are a practitioner of Qigong. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That's the breathing aspect.
Okay. Uh, could you elaborate a little more on that for me? Because I've never heard of it. I had to look it up and see
Okay.
what is this.
Okay. So Qigong is the breathing aspect, which we practice. I refer to more of the meditation, like people
Mhm.
understand meditation through yoga. But that's the part where it helps lower your blood pressure, clear your mind. So my favorite Qigong thing to practice, and everyone can do this today. It's called open and close. And I always tease people, I do this at Walmart when I'm standing in line, especially at Christmas, to calm myself down. But literally, you put your hands at chest level, your fingers are pointed to the ceiling, you're right there at heart center, and you act like you're going to blow up a balloon. And you're just going to take a nice deep breath in and extend your arms out to about your armpits. And then you're going to breathe out, bringing your hands back together. And just practicing this helps just lower your blood pressure, clear your mind, get rid of that stress. But it also helps them focus on just the breathing aspects and remind them to breathe. I have several students, they say during commercials, they'll sit there during a commercial and just go like that, just kind of relax, get away with whatever's going on in their head at that moment, and it helps them. It clears your mind. But there's different qigong moves. That's the most popular one that we use in the Tai Chi for arthritis, and fall prevention is just the open and close because that's
Okay.
very easy to do. And I always make the joke, once you learn how to do this, you're a Tai Chi master. You don't need to know anything else, but if you learn how to open and close and breathe, you're on the right step. And
Okay.
if you ever forget something, sometimes they tell you if you forget something, take that deep breath. Well, that's basically what you're doing. You're taking that deep breath. So hopefully you can remember.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And I believe you have a question in the chat box.
Okay. All right. So you go to Tai Chi uh, Health Institute. We have a website. It actually, you can look for where you're located at, if there's any instructors certified. It also on that website talks about how to get certified, who to contact, and the training that you need to get certified for that training.
Okay. Any other questions, comments by any of us in the audience? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Jessica.